excited. It's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's LinkedIn Live, Hour of Empower. We're here every day, 7 days a week, nonstop. So honored today to have Christy Howard with us, and so happy to have Natalie back. Natalie's been here a few times and really is acclimated so well to the format and to the audience. And I'm so happy to have both of you. Chat's open. Chat's so very important for us to stay relevant, stay focused on what's most important to you, and how we can create and contribute many takeaways that you can actually use as soon as you're off the show. So, with that, I'll say hello to Christy, who is our favorite here today on Fridays, and she can share a little bit of what winning means to her. And the chat's open, so feel free. Take it over, Christy.
Here I come. So winning, it's Friday. Winning day. Though every day is a winning day that because we're here. I love winning because I've always looked at that any negative, you can win with that negative because you can find a positive in it of the growth that you're going to go through. So that's winning. Um, winning is growth, relationships, success, winning sports. I was never one with playing sports, but I also am not a competitive person. I when I play a game or whatever, I have no problem losing because I'm in it to have the fun, but not to win. But in the end, I am winning because I'm having the fun and not getting so competitive. Sort of like when I play golf. I always win with golf, but my score really sucks. So, what do you think, Natalie?
I, I, I like what you started with, and I love what you wrote, by the way, to introduce the word of the day. Um, I'm also not a competitive person, but I do enjoy winning. And, I was reflecting this morning about how, as a little girl, I remember this instance where our teachers approached us and said, "Oh, it was me and two other kid, and we had won a gold crown for like our respective things that we did." For me, it was speech or something like that. But something happened, and it was canceled until the next day. And I remember like it was yesterday, just feeling like my throat close up and getting the heat up to my face, and I started to just cry, and I associated like winning something to being tricked. So I think that stayed with me for a while, but as I did a lot of self growth and understood that it was a story in my head, like it's something that I understand that it's not real. But I think winning has a lot to do with being prepared. So maybe as a child, you're not so prepared to win. There's winning in sports, like you said, and different things. But preparation for me has a lot to do with how you're going to win, how you're going to prepare yourself, whether it's for a competition or it's a program you're putting together. The time you're going to take to prepare has a lot to do with the outcome and surrounding yourself with the people you need to make sure you can win.
That's great. I think
Absolutely.
they really, launched this in a great trajectory. And I think outcome is key to winning because sometimes, like a photo finish in horse racing, it takes time to figure out who won. It takes time to think, was that a victory or not? Some things are not as clear as you got a first place and here's a ribbon. A lot of it comes later, and you could say, what I didn't realize was a big win at the time. I wasn't aware of what it was going to turn out to. I mean, meeting a person is just meeting a person. But if it turns out that person changes your life, that meeting was a big win that you realized because of what happened from the meeting, not because you had a meeting. But I think, to Christy's point, everything we're dealing with is definition, and you're the judge of who wins between you and yourself. right? You can say, this was a great day, I'm proud of myself, or I'm so embarrassed, I'm so disappointed, and I hate to go back to where I just came. But again, it's where is the goal? Where is the plan? How does this fit into it? Sometimes you gotta stay on rocky land until you can get to smooth soil. And I think it's the same thing with winning is what game are you playing if you're winning or losing? What are the rules? What are the second chances, if any? You know, sometimes you get three tries, like in poll voting, they give you 2 or 3 tries, and all you need is to get one good one. So before we get too deep into winning, and I hope every day in every way everybody here can qualify themselves as a winner, because I think to Christy's point, just surviving, just to getting to this point, whatever you've done has kept you in the game, right? You may be behind in the game, but as long as the game plays, you got a shot, you know, unless you quit, and then you have to add up the score. Kelly's here. Kelly's always here. Good morning, beautiful people. And Kelly must know who they are because she's one of them. So it's really nice to have her. Shanir's here. Good day. Thank you. It's so great when the show starts off with salutations, hellos, greetings. You know, instead of thinking about oneself, one sharing, you know, a good thought or salutation. Stephen's here. Good morning from New York. Natalie, so glad to have you. Stephen says hello to Kelly. Linda's here. Linda's always got some great comments. I believe getting to spend time with this community is winning for each of us as we share and encourage each other. You know, it's all for one, one for all. It gets a lot more going. Agree, Linda, winning with who we surround ourselves with. And I think that's your first victory, is choosing your teammates or getting chosen by your teammates. Our actions are our responsibility, Jim says, to deserve the collective harmony. So back to you, Christy. With all these terrific people here, and it's just starting, I think we're on a very positive roll because the word is winning. And I think that brings a lot of positive emotion to the table.
Well, and it's a word that you can't really see a negative in. You can't. It's just a very positive word. So when you hear win, winning, won, it's a positive. People want to know, well, what did you win? Why are you winning? You know, how did you win? How did you, you know, what did you do? That kind of thing. So, you know, it goes back to with me and, you know, with Kelly, because we're a partner, and our last conversation last Friday was about partners. Um, when you have a partner, I'm coming up to my second wedding anniversary, and that's a winning. um, you know, it's understanding who you surround yourself with, and when you surround yourself with people that want to be your cheerleaders, and support you, you're always going to win. Um, so this this LinkedIn Live every day, um, is a winning thing for so many people. Not only for you, Don, but for people who connect, but also people who can sit here and go, "Wow, I didn't even think about that thought. I didn't think about that word in that way." So we're winning on that end. Um, so the connections, just life. I mean, just breathing is winning. I mean, there's just, it's all positive. It's all beautiful. And it's just how you look at it, because honestly, as hard as people are having hard times now, you have to understand they really are winning though, because they're growing, they're learning, and they're going forward.
Absolutely. I think those are so profound thoughts because it shows everybody has access to words. There is no cost to owning words, using words, reapplying words. So, you know, if people would put enough thought into their word choices as they do their fashion choices or their food choices, I mean, you know exactly, I don't want extra salt on that. I mean, something as simple as a little extra salt will get you a little frustrated with your meal. But you go out in the world with words that just come out of your mouth hither, thither kind of way, and you wonder why you're getting the reaction you're getting. And you're thinking it's the person instead of what are you communicating and sharing with that person, right? And if you start out with, hey, how are you doing? I love what you're wearing. Great day. All of a sudden people are shifting. And just like that happens here, is everybody has heard the word winning. But a lot of people don't use that as something to aim for. What if you said, what are the three things I really was a winner at today? And they might have been very modest things. I did a great job at the grocery store. Got in, got out in 20 minutes. I was so happy, and instead of taking things for granted, and that's where a lot of winners suffer, because most of the winners you see are only there for a few years. If you look at athletes, if you look at, you know, songwriters, all of their high value is usually in the beginning of their career, and now they have to figure out how to stay a winner. And I think, change allows you to continue to pivot into new arenas. And what used to be so exciting at winning at something is like, I don't even want to even do that anymore. So I'm saying at 20, you're different than at 30 or at 50 or older. And it's really then, what games do you participate in? Who are the fans in your stands? Because if people are rooting you on, you're already a winner. It's only when you're all by yourself and no one's noticing you and no one's paying attention to what you're doing that creates that sense of loss. And now you're trying to catch up instead of stay ahead of where you're at. And I think that's where workout buddies come in so well. And I think the key point is the moment of victory is the tip of what everything underneath it was to get you there. How many people said, yeah, it was an overnight success, only took me 10 years, right? And no one saw those 10 years before I became a comic or a singer or what I had to do. So let's shoot to our people. Dean's here. Dean's just a wonderful gentleman, heart of gold. Can't say enough about Dean. So happy to have him here. Nicole's here, who will be with Leslie Flowers tomorrow. That'll be quite a show. Nice to see you, Nicole. And thank you so much for all you do for so many. Your mood sets the tone, and our mood we can control. So true. Winning is controllable. A lot of people feel winning's in everybody else's hands. What are the judges going to think? You got to think of yourself as a winner first before anybody's going to get through to you that you are a winner. And self-care is so important. Thank you. Yes, we often agree. Two great minds. Have a beautiful day, my friend. Nicole says, I win every day that my feet hit the floor. 2 mornings it hadn't, due to my bipolarness. And knowing there's redemption, knowing there's an opportunity to come back. Rocky was a wonderful movie that demonstrated what a winner is. It's not how many times you go down, it's how fast you can get back up and still want to play and play hard. And sometimes losing makes you a bigger winner, because you just say, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to change. I'm going to get bigger, stronger, faster, whatever. Abimbola is here. So great to see you. Kelly's saying hello, Linda. With that said, Natalie, what's your new thoughts with all this new input from our wonderful audience?
I have a couple of thoughts. One kind of just came after the first one. I think when you can see a winner in someone else, it makes you a winner. When you're able to see that someone is there to support you, you can see that person's that person has goals and they're going somewhere. That's a good thing, because like collaboration, if you think about wanting to collaborate with someone, if they're a winner and you're able to recognize that, that's going to definitely help you in your goal in getting somewhere. Now, if you see that the person on the other end is, not, kind of loses their focus, something happens to them, they want to pull out or whatever. I think winning is an ongoing, ongoing thing. So you can always change your trajectory If it's not working out with, whoever you're collaborating, or if you have a client that is just like, it's just, taking more time than you thought, you have to just reevaluate and readjust, because that's how you're gonna, get to your goal and continue to evolve.
Well, and I think evolving is winning. Winning's an event, evolving's a process, and if you continue to grow, and I compare it to a garden because it's so easy to visualize. You put seeds in the ground, they're not going to work out without you supporting them, right? And tending to them and watching them blossom and eventually getting the fruits of your labor from it, either by beauty or by nutrition. And so many winning opportunities create more winning opportunities.
Hmm.
So once you're on that winning track, it works the opposite of once you're on that losing track. Pretty soon that confidence kicks in. And to me, success is always an attitude. I've seen winners lose and look better than the winners who won, right? Because of how fast they went over and shook somebody's hand or patted them on the back. And to me, that's a winner. Is what does the person do for others, including themselves? And there are sports people that go out there and wow people and entertain people, or recording artists. But it's the moments when you see them doing charity work, things that they contribute to, that they do it anonymously on purpose, right? So that there's no mixing of somebody's fame with somebody else's benefit. And I think that's being multi-purpose, multitask. And this show brings out the spontaneity in people. It makes you resourceful, and it shows what you can bring out in a second after listening to something. And stretching is part of winning. Every athlete, before they do anything, they're always stretching because they don't want to cramp up or hurt themselves somehow. And intellectually and through conversation, we're stretching. We're stretching our definitions. We're expanding our consciousness through other people's consciousness. So winning is a blend, and if you looked at the regiment of Tiger Woods or somebody, what they said, after he'd win a tournament, that night he'd still be putting at home. He never stopped training. And the same thing with Larry Bird. Every day he would be like 200 shots every day in his backyard growing up. And you get to the point where you love the challenge. You love the competition either because you're up to it, and because faster people make you run faster. So let me cover some more comments, and we'll shift right back to Christy. They're coming in pretty fast and furious now. Hello, thank you, Ambimbola. What a wonderful person. And Ambimbola is so typical of so many people here because they're investing in their own winning too. They don't want to just be satisfied being in the stands rooting for somebody. They want to be on the field and playing. Winning is a mindset as well, as Sheaf says. Kelly comes back with winning is perspective, mindset. The greatest wins are witnessing it in others. And your greatest fans are the people you love and care about the most, and vice versa. I would rather go to my grandson's soccer game than go to the World Series, to be honest with you, right? I make a habit of only rooting for people who root for me, and some of these other people, they don't even know you're in the stands. Nicole says, you make me feel that way every day. Isn't that sweet? Nicole's just a wonderful person. That's why she's coming on, because what I found about the qualification to be a good guest here is to be a good person first, and then do good things for other good people. And that you're already got a tailwind whenever you go somewhere. Jonathan says, evolving is winning. Haven't seen you in the past, Jonathan. Welcome so much for coming. Renadib says, good morning to all from my side today. James comes back with winning is respecting your unique self and loving all the uniqueness around you with unconditional compassion. That's a lot of words in a short sentence. And, it also shows there's more seasoning you can bring to your winning. Sometimes the trophy is more important than the event, the way it looks and the way, Uh, if you hold it and endear it, okay, let me see if there's anything. Ashif says, winning is a process of belief towards progress. That's interesting. I never thought of it that way. And sometimes when you just rearrange some words, put a different word in, all of a sudden it ignites something that was latent there waiting to get out. Letting go of things, and I just said that no longer serve you is a win. Getting rid of things that keep you losing makes you a better winner. So many people look at what they could add instead of what they could subtract and not have to add. And so many people do things that have nothing to do with what they're doing, but correspond to what they don't want to do. And they cancel out with time and energy. So be uniquely you. That's an interesting. A growth mindset is imperative. So true. Rohit says hello. And I think, well, Linda, with my period of health was it's felt the same. Hugs. Well, you're a comeback person, Linda. I mean, to come back from whatever is really a victory. We should see the losing as an opportunity to learn and become better. That's a win for sure. If you get a lesson and you don't understand it and appreciate, you're bound to learn it again, right? So, change for things to change, you need to change. Christy, Omar's here. Omar's great. Everybody's great. So we should start with that. Christy, you're great. What's new?
I am going to go back to a few of the comments because they're just like in my head and everybody's pulling it out before I can even say it. But, going back to whatever Emma Boland mentioned about a winner regardless happening around you. Excuse me. We have control of our energy. And so for many of us who battled with depression, we allowed that negative energy and we're a loser, we're not good enough, all those wonderful words that sit in our head. When we start learning that we are winners, we were brought into this world to be winners, and understand that we're going to have some hardships. But when you go through those experiences, you can win by learning them, understanding the triggers, not reacting. And that that comes with life. And even the older we get, we still do the same things over and over again and learn those same lessons over and over again until one day we either learn them or we just continue to do, what's that quote with Einstein of madness? Or I don't know.
Yeah, if you keep doing the same thing over again, expecting a different result.
Right. So, I mean, I learned in my past, I did an event and I got reactions that were very ugly. People saying things online to me, even in the newspaper. And it was, I realized that I had a business partner that just passed away. He used to say, Christy, don't cater to your haters. They're showing you that you're successful. So those negatives that come into our life, and the incident taught me. I mean, it was very hard for me because these people were saying terrible things about me and they didn't even know. And I was trying to do something good. And to understand that the trigger that I had was the trigger really inside of me going back to who I used to be, of not feeling I was worthy, that I was winning, I wasn't worth winning. And going forward and saying, I call them trolls. These trolls are nobodies. I'm not going to feed into what they're saying because I know who I am and I'm winning. I'm winning through my life. I'm doing the best that I know how and going forward with what I learned from it. So, to surround yourself with people that, are caring and loving and, constructive criticism, I love because the people are saying it they're seeing it of you that I don't see of myself, but they're not saying it to be detrimental. They want you to win. So it goes back to surrounding yourself with people, but understanding that you're going to have those haters, you're going to have those trolls and everything, but don't let them win. You're going to win by not allowing them to trigger you. And when you do get triggered, understand that you got triggered, and that's a win, that you understand that. So the negatives you can always get those negatives will come in and out of our lives. To understand the win that you can get from them is a win.
That's great. Natalie, what would you like to build on to that? Because again, it shows evolution, growth, and I think the other elements are responsibility and accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you're involved in, you have some shared responsibility to it because you're involved in it, right? You met the person, you committed to something, and it's saying, okay, what did I do that I didn't have to do that I can learn from? Not only what did the other person do, but let me hand it back to you, Natalie, because that was my initial intention. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I'm thinking setting yourself up for success. It kind of goes back a little bit to being prepared. But Christine said something about mindset. And if you set yourself up for success and then you hit like a roadblock or something, mindset is going to help you to go through whatever challenges you have to continue to, bring that success or that win for you and for whoever you're aiming this success at. I mean, the success can be for you, but winning in something, you want to do it for a cause, for something. And this quick story of I was a diver when I was young, and I qualified to go to Montreal to compete in this like national competition, and I forgot my bathing suit. I went in the changing room, and in my, I was to go practice before the competition, and I did not have my bathing suit. So this other girl lent me her bathing suit, but it was so big, and I felt awful because I just wasn't prepared to. I was used to feeling good and feeling ready. I was competing, by the way, with Sylvie Bernier, who ended up being an Olympic champion,
Really?
and she was killing it. And I let that, not having my own bathing suit, and it was too big, and it's like I let it affect me. So I placed like really badly. But if you have something like that happen to you, not like that, but like a challenge or something you weren't expecting, mindset is everything. Because even though you might have something happen to you that like is embarrassing, or it's just you are able to go through it with being resourceful and creative, I think.
Well, I think it's a matter of acceptance too. Sometimes when I lose at something, I really, really didn't really care about winning, right? So if I'm playing miniature golf with my grandkids, I'm not looking at the score. It's like, hey, we're going to hit the ball in the hole eventually. Let's use this time to be together. And I guess it's what you consider winning. Some winners actually lose, and some losers actually win in time. So the winning or the losing is where now you move from or to. And, at a certain point, if you win at something, you want to try something else. And people say, you're not that good at it. Why don't you stay with what you're good at? And I think passion has so much to play in victory and winning and performing. I mean, I look at races, and what's interesting? Everybody looks at who won, the first or second person that crosses the line. I'm thinking about the ninth or 10th that's half a track away, and they're still running. And when they started running, they knew they were going to probably come in ninth or 10th because they are against world players. But you know what? They got parents in the stands. They've got friends on TV watching them, if that's the case. Showing up is winning. They say winning is 95% showing up every day. Because if you show up every day, first of all, people will see you as someone who shows up every day. Second thing is you'll learn what not to do. Every time you go out there and make a mistake, it's one less thing you got to think about next time because you're moving on. And if you visualize winning, and I remember reading a book and it was about somebody who was going to play horseshoes with President Bush one, and his name was George Plimpton, a long time ago. And he was so scared of playing with the president because he didn't know, should I win and be real competitive, or should I let him win? I don't know what to do. So, anyways, he decided to go to a lot of sports champions and interview them. And one guy who played tennis says, the whole key is getting in the zone. And when I'm in the zone, that tennis ball looks like a volleyball to me. It's like there's no way my racket's not going to hit that thing. So, if you see yourself as a winner, you'll be a winner until maybe you are, but you'll be a winner until maybe you aren't. And I'd rather feel like a winner every day of my life and find out one day I lost than feel like a loser every day of my life and found out one day I won, because the next day you're back to playing again. So with that, let me acknowledge more of the audience. It gets bigger and better with time. There is a lag. Dean, thanks so much. Dennis is here. Dennis is a resident rhymer. Agree, good words are good food for thought. You can be a delicious winner. Why not jazz it up? If you buy a hamburger, why don't you put some pickles and tomatoes and cheese, Sound is going in and out. Yeah, that is true. I on Christy's mic a little. People don't
I
win
figured that out.
trying to pull others down. That's true. A victory that's hollow, that you cheat to get, and you cheated, that's a bad trend to get into. I had a friend who built old cars, reconstructed them, and he would never use plastic because he felt it was inauthentic, and nobody would have known about it. But everything he had to do was a labor of love that he needed for himself too. Pro trolls are so much better than controls. Agree to be positive, grow and win, not shrink and lose. And we need this positive reinforcement from people like Christy and Natalie saying, this is what I'm doing to keep my mind going forward in a positive way, to make me feel like a winner, because a winner shows a winner, even though you don't see it. The way someone walks into a room with a lot of confidence, authority, activity, that in people's eyes, that's a winner, versus someone just schlimps in, sits down, twiddles their thumb and hangs out. You got to work, you got to play, and you got to act. Positive self-talk is extremely important, and catching negative thoughts when they creep in. And, one day you feel like a winner, next day you feel like a loser, and you ask yourself, how did the world change so quick on me? Right? And it's you that had to make the change. I allow myself to feel the initial reaction of losing, acknowledge why I feel that way, remind myself I'm human, and then just my perception, it works beautifully. And if you compare yourself to other people, if you want to get humble, go into a hospital and walk by what everybody's going through there and ask yourself how lucky I am. And that was Agmandino in that audience when I was there. And he said, I'll prove everybody's a millionaire. He said, how many people give your eyes for $1 million, or your ears, or your legs, or whatever, any part? How rich are you? How valuable are you? And the question is, what are you doing with your eyes? What are you doing with your ears? They're worth millions. Susanna's here. So great to have you. It's really nice when people show themselves by themselves, with just simple things they could try to add to so many people. Sheaf says purpose, cause, and effect empowers winning. So true. And sometimes you just got to simplify it to 2 or 3 elements, and that gives you the the direction. Agree, show up every day, not show off. So true. There's a saying, be interested, not interesting. That's really important to so many people. We do win when we show up as our true, authentic selves. That's all you are. Why not just be in congruence with it, be aligned with it, and be proud of it? There's nobody wants to shrink in. And people pick up who you are by how you are. That's when they figure out, oh, this person's this. And eventually you get respect, because people will know where you are and what is important to you. And hopefully they'll adjust and provide that. Let me see. I guess we caught up. So Christy, we're almost a little bit over the halfway point. Looks like this winning topic is a winning topic.
Winning is winning. So I think I might have. I'm trying to figure out my speaker. I don't know what's going on.
It's
Uh,
better now. It's
is it
better now.
better? Then I unplugged something, so there you go. Anyway, that works. Now I know because I've been fiddling around with it with the last 2 days. So going back to being your authentic self, everybody feels that they need to wear a mask. We're not allowed to show who we are. We all know that I like to dance with my skeletons. What you see is what you get. Who I am is who I am. But I wasn't always like that. I always had that mask. I didn't let people know what I was going through, and in the end, I realized that I wasn't allowing myself to win. I wasn't allowing myself to grow, to show who I was and be proud of it. So winning is being proud, obviously. And so drop the mask, be authentic because you are an individual. You're a uniquely beautiful individual with all the flaws and all the scratches and everything that you've gone through, but you've won. And I believe it's Nicole who has the bipolarness. That's what makes you unique and beautiful. It's not a bad thing because you realize what you're doing and you're dancing with that. And you're saying, hey, I'm going to win every day that I can get out. I might have some struggles, but that's who you are. You are winning. And so when we look at the positive and the negative, you will always win. I mean, our mistakes, we have to learn from it. We're human and we're not perfect. There's only one that's perfect, and it's not us. So, I mean, it's everybody that's, shared and everything. They get it. They get it on that winning is, you get you can win through the darkness.
Hmm. That's really
No,
good.
absolutely, Natalie.
I really love what you said. And, you know, going back to winning is always going to be an evolving journey. And do you want to win to receive a ribbon, a medal? I mean, I think it's cool to look at those athletes get that, gold medal or something to be recognized. But I was saying I'm not very competitive, but I'm on a self-love journey. And I think that we have to set ourselves up for success for ourselves first, and not to receive. Of course, it's great to be recognized and receive praise, but you need to first set yourself to win for yourself, and to be proud of yourself, to give yourself a ribbon, to color a little gold, a gold badge, and put it, stick it on you, like you won today, not because somebody gave it to you, but because you set yourself up to win, to wake up in the morning and start with meditation and a little exercise and journaling instead of just being controlled by whatever's around you. That's a win. So accumulate those little wins throughout the day, and you're gonna have a great week, and then a great week is gonna be a great month, and that's how you accumulate those accomplishments. But it starts with you and how proud you are of yourself.
So well said. And what it comes to mind is little wins versus major wins.
Mm.
And like, I mentioned, why not just make an appointment in your schedule for next Thursday to have a cupcake at 2 o'clock to celebrate you're halfway through the week, or you made it to that day. Because, they say the definition of a big shot is a little shot to keep shooting. The definition of a winner is the same thing. Someone who finds little wins, celebrates them, enjoys them, because that is the shield against the next hit that you're going to get. Right? You're going to get some surprises, not some. You're always going to be surprised by the new day because there's so many people involved, there's so many events. And I agree with Natalie, the worst thing someone can do to start a day is turn on the news. And now you're bringing the public stuff into your private mind, And now your thoughts are not about where they should be. They should be with you through meditating, through exercise, like you say, journaling. And, it reminds me, when I was young, I had a bowling alley like a block and a half away. And anything that's a block and a half away, you're going to spend time in. So I used to be in bowling leagues, and everybody would get a trophy. It'd be a small plastic something. And I get a bunch of them. But as you get older, you really see, what did you keep? And those bowling trophies got thrown out a long time ago. But the pictures of me and Ann with our first child when it was born, with our holiday celebration with family, those were the winning things that stuck with me and still continue to make me a winner, because of it's gratitude. It's reminding me how I got to where I was is because of family, because of friends who sacrificed, who gave things that I never even knew, and probably even more that I'll probably never know. But you owe that to people who bet on you. These are people that invested. And now it's like, now you get a chance to show them what their investment can do. And more importantly, happiness is winning. If whatever you do gets you all the money and all the accolades and trophies, and you're angry and frustrated and disappointed, you're imbalanced. It wasn't you won too much, you sacrificed too much to get to that win that now you can't get back, right? And yesterday's winner, is today's loser, and that's how fast the wheel of fortune can move. So, let's cover some more. Susanna says, love that. We do win when we show up as our true, authentic selves. That's who you are. Visualization is the same as doing it. Your brain doesn't know the difference. And, even laughter yoga proved that. And the whole idea of laughter yoga is people would just create artificial laughter. Somebody would say, just scratch your head and jump up and down 3 times. Everybody start laughing. And what they found out, it did as much good as genuine laughter. So your body really doesn't know. It just responds to your mind and your feelings. And I think the other part of winning is feeling like a winner. If someone gave you an award and you say, I don't really care, or I don't really feel like I won, there's a difference. And again, that's prioritization. Stephen says hello. Susanna says, love seeing you here. I mean, love is a key. If I would say love is a good measure of winning. How much love do you have in your life? How much love do you give in your life? Because that will make you a winner long before you can't run around the track, or you can't do certain things. And that's why when people give you a zucchini bread, right? They took some time, they used their hands, they baked it, they brought it over to you. There was a lot of effort. And now it might just be a zucchini bread, but that's where losers see it only as a zucchini bread. And winners come back, well, that is so delicious. Thank you so much for thinking about me. Because you know what it does? It reinforces in that person's mind, I'm going to bake another one for Aunt Sally this week. That one went over pretty good, because people are always looking for the judges. They're always saying, what's my score? Where am I in this competition? Am I even in the game anymore? And that's why communication, feedback, interaction, because the biggest factor to maintain losing is fear. Like Natalie said, if someone gets into your head, I've seen so many people who are superior to so many people, but one person got into their head and that person couldn't maintain. And it's a psychological element to it, not just a physical element. The toughness. Another thing about winners, they suffer horrible defeats. Some athletes have to suffer tremendous injury and surgeries and who knows what else, but they, when they come back on the field, they seem even like a bigger winner. You just love those comeback stories. That's why I named my company The Gifted Bipolar Writer. And that is so cool. If it's there, let it show. People are going to see it one way or the other anyways. And if it's out there out front and people say, that's cool, you never got to think about what do people think about, to Christy's point, right? If you can be your authentic self, it really qualifies the people around you to be the people around you. Instead of accepting their opinion, you accept their direction away from them by their resistance or rejection. Susanna says, love that. Christy, I would pull off the mask. I wrote about moving beyond the boxes others tell us to get in, to be this, to do that, and moving beyond boxes. It's removing the mask and being our bright, authentic self. So true, so valuable, Susanna, because the game, like I say, is between you and yourself. That's where it all starts.
Hmm.
And how do you treat yourself?
Hmm.
And a lot of times people bully themselves more than the bullies. You say things to yourself you would never in a million years say in public to somebody, especially a stranger. So why do you take the best friend you have, which could be yourself, and not give you every advantage? How many times do you ever get in front of a judge and say, hey, can't you give me some leniency here? Can't you give me a break? And the same thing to yourself. It's like, what are you so tough on me for today? What is, just like you might say to somebody else, B says, being unique is very important, hence my tagline. Being uniquely you. That's so cool. I haven't seen something like that. Be the change you want to see in the world. We have to authentic first before we can evoke change. Dennis says, agree, winning is so much better than losing or snooping. I don't watch the news. Good for you. And the news will be the news with or without you anyway. So life is about finding the strength, courage, and direction to open the boxes. Better than snoozing. Okay, Dennis corrected himself. Here we go with Nicole. We need the big and small wins, and we must celebrate the small ones along the way. They keep us motivated. Today's victory is maybe a precursor to tomorrow's victory. Agree, love, and you will love to win. Caught up with Ambimbola. Appreciative people are winners too. Winners are a team. If you ever go to a NASCAR race, that driver is the guy everybody sees, but it's the pit people who are sitting there and they got 3 seconds to change the tires, 2 seconds to get the fuel and get them back on the road. Without a team, you can't win. I'll tell you that. One person by themselves with nobody else, no training, no consulting, no videos. It's difficult. Let's just say that. So getting back to Natalie, I think it is.
No, I thought it was Chris. It doesn't matter.
Christy, it's your turn. I get so mixed up.
That's okay. So going back to about, as you said, NASCAR and the team. I go deep. You might think that you're not winning and that you don't have a team. However, you don't realize how many people are silently cheering you on. And understand that we're never alone. We really aren't. And it might not be the people that you expect to be cheering you on, of wanting to win, family members, spouses, just bosses. But then there's other people that are silently out there cheering you on. So to allow yourself to have the experience, the energy of being your best friend, loving yourself and doing the best that you can when you're winning. And also understand that when you have those triggers, look around. It goes back to that box. And I replied back that I call it the box of BS. It's the box of belief systems. We believe in our system that nobody's cheering us on. So we're not winning. But when we get rid of that box of BS, the box is no longer. And your view of everybody who's cheering you on is going to change. And I know that from my own personal experience. I have no box. You can't box me up anymore because I lived in that box and never thought that anybody was there for me. I wasn't good enough. And that's why I never was competitive because, I'd lose. So I'm just going to be the best loser. And so that was starting in my mindset. I was still winning because I came in last, or I was still winning because I was cheering other people on. And the more I put out the positive, and that sounds more of a negative, but it was a positive energy for me to get outside of my box. So it's your mindset of how you can put yourself, and again, get rid of that box because it's nothing for you. It does nothing for you. So that's, again, I dive in deep, um, sometimes or all the time, but we have that control of always winning. And those big ones and the small ones and the ones that you might think that, wow, I should have that, everybody going, wow, you did a win. It doesn't matter as long as you know you made a win and you're proud of yourself because you're the biggest cheerleader to yourself.
Yeah.
That's so true. And, in the worst of times, I found that just breathing was winning.
Oh yeah.
When that's the best you could hope for is your next breath and let everything else slide for a while. When you're raw, you need to heal, you know, and when no one cares, you need to care. And somebody can say the other thing, no one cares, so why should I care? And that's the difference. And when, I say no one cares, when I have to care because I'm here on my own now. If you have everybody around you supporting you, yeah, you could be a winner as long as everybody tells you you're a winner. But then being your authentic self has also got to be matched by the authenticity of the people around you,
Mhm.
right? If everybody's afraid to hurt your feelings, or you're the kind of person that doesn't open up to new ideas or change and people don't want to go there, that's creating a box that you don't even know you're creating at that time. And in this world, nobody gets out of here alive. And it's a fact. So why not wear out before you time out?
Yep.
At the end, the things you think about are not the things you're thinking about now. Some people, just to take one more sip of water is huge to them. And when you start to be humble and modest, and where your threshold to winning is almost guaranteed, right? Every day I wake up, I open my eyes, I'm so excited and surprised because no one guarantees you tomorrow. There are people going to sleep tonight, don't wake up tomorrow. And people wake up today, aren't going to sleep tonight. And if you realize that if you live every day like it's your last, one day it will be. But how do you greet people if you're going to be gone tomorrow? You're definitely not going to be looking at checkbook issues. You could care less about dental appointments, right? And what everybody has is the only day they know they have, which is today. And
Mhm.
by dragging legacy and the past into the future, you hurt today. By taking fear of the future back to today, you hurt today. And it's really just a matter of priorities and organization and understanding. And that's why another person is so valuable to you because they can get you back to the straight and narrow and you can get them back. And now someone needs you to be there. And that's probably the biggest win is your purpose goes beyond yourself. I'm into a cause, I'm into a mission, I'm into something that I just can't allow to happen, right? And all of a sudden your worries about yourself becomes less significant. Natalie, what's your thoughts?
I'm loving this conversation. This is so good. So I was gonna say, I want to win, but I want to win on my terms. And my terms are what I decide will happen in my thoughts, in my day. And I can't do it alone, obviously. So I love that you're also, into, having a team and having people who guide you. And sometimes you need to stand up for yourself too, because your own term is knowing who you are and where you're going, and you're and accepting that there's going to be challenges. So when those challenges arrive, your support system is there for you. but sometimes people get it wrong too. So you have to be, you have to be ready to also say, hey, listen, I don't agree with that. I want to stand by my ground. And I think there's a miscommunication or something. So just, trust yourself first, and trust that you have surrounded yourself with the people that can help you. But winning on your own term is just accepting that there are going to be bumps on the road. And I go back to being prepared and being surrounded by the right people. Having the right support system is going to help you all the way. But trust yourself first.
Well, and that's why it's so important to have shock absorbers built into your journey, because they will handle the bumps on the road. I think the other thing, and this is a wonderful conversation because it makes me and everybody else think more ambitiously. Like, I got so many gems here. Which do I want to pick and choose to share with so many people? Is you're absolutely right, is that I've decided about 98% of things in life are tomato and tomato with me. I've got an opinion about something, but at the end of the day, if someone just is in love with something and needs it, and to me it's tomato, tomato, great. But it's the 2% that I just won't be moved by. And that's where I get absolute, when I'm sure, and I can just tell somebody that's never going to happen. I mean, it's not going to be, right? And that's the way it is. And actually, if you start exploring it with me, it'll probably make it worse, right? Because I'll add more justification, and then you're justifying something that you shouldn't have to. So it's really being proactive and controlling situations that are serious to you, and if it's tomato, tomato, it's like, take it, do it. I'm happy for you. I've done it before. It doesn't mean as much. I'm cool with that. But you have to also understand, if your mission is to help people, including yourself, the people around you, the people that you care most about, you can't take a detour with somebody else, because you're not alone in this. You're taking everything with you, everybody with you. And when you come home, you want to say, here's the trophy I just got for us. And I think team sports actually have more value than individual sports at times, because you're depending on so many other people, right? If the blocker doesn't take that person out, you're not scoring a touchdown. If this doesn't happen and you're forced to wish good on everybody, stay healthy, we got a game coming up, take care of yourself. And that reinforces everything. The team wins with the team winning attitude. When you look at teams that should have never won, when you look at fighters that were 100-1 and landed that one lucky punch, that's all it takes. And if people realize one person, one event can change your life dramatically in any direction at any time, you have to be prepared. You have to be strong enough. And when you're not, like we say here, if you can't do it, could we do it? Let me follow some last conversations, and we'll have some last words. I mean, it is so fast, this conversation. A winner always recognizes their team. It's a team win. I just said that, didn't even see it. Thank you so much, Nicole. Sheep says, true winners hug harder, laugh louder, smile bigger, love longer. You make up a great point, because the win without celebration is empty, right? If you're not going to a party, if you're not having a party after a big win, after a big promotion, you suffer through your losses. Why not celebrate through your wins? Why not be just as emotional on the good side as you have been maybe on the negative side? Dennis says, in the worst of times, simply find someone you can help and you won't feel bad about yourself. It's so true. You put a smile on a kid's face, you help a person across the street. I mean, I went to actually Cirque du Soleil last night, and there was this lady who was pretty heavy, and she was walking up these metal stairs. And, between me and my daughter, we made sure she got there. Everybody else was walking by her, and I'm like, this lady could fall. I'm having a hard time, but it was like, hey, I know what to do here. I don't want, what would I think if I didn't help her and she fell? right? And I was like right there and I could have helped. And why don't you help somebody? Because you don't want to get involved. And so many people today don't want to get involved. And a lot of people are better off not getting involved in certain things. But it doesn't mean you should stop getting involved in all things. And kindness fills the heart. You know, giving somebody a peanut butter sandwich, you know, who hasn't eaten is huge to that person. And not because of the sandwich, because someone stopped and saw them, gave them something, right? And that, why not? That can change the world. There are always bumps in the road. Ambimbola says, you're right, Christy. We need to get rid of the belief system box because it's only a mirage. It's not true. The BS will only destabilize us if we allow ourselves to be boxed in. And that's the key to being vigilant for everybody, right? If you see if somebody's shoelace is untied, I mean, real quick say, hey, better tie those shoelaces, right? Here we come back with Susanna. The team of people you can trust, the ones you can open up to and know they are there for you, are so important to turning those obstacles we encounter into speed bumps. And actually, you can eliminate a lot of obstacles if you eliminate the people who bring them. You know, it's like I say, some people go to a picnic with real cheap potato salad, and some people bring a really lovely chocolate cake. And the difference is $2 or $3, but it's really intention, you know, because even people act falsely to you and maybe sometimes get away with it, their intention isn't good. And I always take a moment when I don't understand something or if I'm totally surprised by what somebody says or do. Can you just share with me what was your intention in saying this? What was I expect to get out of this? What would you expect someone to say back to you? You know, after leaving a marriage, I had to find me again because he had to put me down and had lost a child because of him. But I wasn't willing to stay in that place. But stepping forward for me and my children had to be done. Show them that stepping forward. You're right, Linda. You're an example for everybody around you. And by taking a stand or doing what you know you have to do, the sooner you do it, the better it will be. I'm winning because I get to call you friends. Great conversation. There's never enough friends in the world. I never said I got too many friends. I wish someone would disappear. If anything, it's like, I hope everybody's fine today. I hope I make some new friends. Time does fly when we do what we love. And love is the answer. I mean, you know, whatever the question, whatever the word, if you can get to love, you're living large. Feel the same lady. With that said, Natalie,
Yeah.
what's your words on winning now?
Yeah, I just feel like a winner right now because I feel so appreciative of how you welcome me for the third time on this show, and I'm so appreciative for my friends that show up. In the comment, there's such wonderful people, and I do feel I have a support system, and I'm able to be vulnerable, and that's what's going to help me win even more.
That's great. And Christy,
I'm a winner. 61 years old. I'm finally there. Hey, and I'm winning. I made it. I'm making it to my second wedding anniversary. But no, my whole thing is winning is it's a mindset and it's believing in yourself. And I appreciate you, Don, constantly bringing me on Fridays and making me enjoy my Fridays and making me think. Every word makes me go deep, makes me realize I have some deep thoughts that need to come out. So I
That's a good
appreciate
thing.
both of you guys, and you guys have a great, great weekend.
well, thank you so much. Everybody's so gracious, and I love to be between winning bookends, you know, on this show. And you know, everybody makes everybody better for who they are and what they try to bring to other people. And you know, it's really a miracle how so many wonderful people from all over the world, from all different cultures and environments, can come together for things like winning, for love, for caring, and we're meant for that. You know, we were built to love, to care, to be thoughtful, and to look at ourselves in the mirror and get excited. You know, I mean, when you just are bursting out of your own skin with love for yourself, pride in yourself, that's a winning combination. And enjoy the little things because that's what you have to enjoy. And when bigger things come about, enjoy those too. So enjoy, love, care. Come back tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting show. We've got Leslie Flowers with Nicole here today, and that's a new combination. And then Sunday, I'll just tell you very quickly, if I can find my calendar. Sunday, we have Sarah back, who's just unbelievable. Monday is Gretchen. Tuesday is Beverly. Wednesday is Rita. Thursday is Kelly. And we'll probably fill in some blanks to pair everybody up there too. So this has been a wonderful winning conversation. Thank you all so much. Have a beautiful day and a great weekend. And hopefully we'll see you in 23 hours.